Good day everyone, welcome to another mathematics tutorial. In this video, we will discuss about solving quadratic equation by factoring. In my previous video, na-discuss ko na about factoring polynomials by GCF or the greatest common factor. Ngayon, tuturuan ko naman kayo ng iba pang factoring techniques para makasolve na tayo ng quadratic equation using factoring. For this example, babalikan muna natin ang factoring by GCF or the greatest common factor. Ang given ay 2x squared minus 6x. In each terms, meron common factor. Ang numerical coefficient na 2 at saka 6 ay may GCF na 2 at ang literal coefficient na x squared and x ay may GCF na x. Ang GCF ng 2x squared minus 6x ay 2x. Kaya we're going to factor out ang 2x. So we have 2x squared divided by 2x is x. Copy the operation sign minus 6x divided by 2x ay 3. Kaya our final answer for the factors of 2x squared minus 6x is 2x times quantity x minus 3. If you are going to check if these factors are correct, we have our checking. To check if the factors are correct, just distribute 2x to each of the terms inside the parentheses. Let's have the checking. 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times negative 3 is minus 6x. Ibig sabihin, tama ang ating factors. Second example. Our second example is a trinomial quadratic equation. Why trinomial? Because it has 3 terms, x squared, 5x, and 6. Pag titingnan natin ang example, each terms ay wala silang common factors. The quadratic term has numerical coefficient of 1. We have here 5 and 6. Wala silang common factors. Kaya gagamit tayo ng ibang factoring techniques. Dapat malaman nyo na isang trinomial quadratic equation ay may factors na dalawang binomials. Kaya maglalagay ako ng dalawang parentheses. Itong dalawang parentheses nagsisilbing factors ng trinomial na x squared plus 5x plus 6. We are going to fill in kung ano yung variables at constant na ilalagay natin dito. Here and here. And we are going also to write what operation shall we use. Ang second factoring na ituturo ko sa inyo ay tinatawag na guess and check dahil ililista natin ang factors ng first terms at ang last terms. Una, we're going to list the factors of the first terms. Our first term is x squared. So what are the factors of x squared? So madali lang. Ang factors ng x squared ay x and x. We are going to write the factors of x squared, x and x, in the first terms of each parenthesis. Here and here. Second naman, we are going to list the factors of the last terms, which is 6. Gagamit tayo ng ibang kulay. So the factors of 6 are 3 times 2. Meron ding negative 3 times negative 2. Pwede rin 6 times 1 and negative 6 times negative 1. All of these factors result to 6. So, may 4 na factors. So, pipili lang tayo ng isang pair of factors na bubuo ng ating binomial factors. Then, how we're going to choose which of these factors? We are going to add each of the factors. 3 plus 2 will give us 5. Negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. Negative 6 minus 1 is negative 7. Now, pipiliin natin yung sum. Ito yung sum ng factors. Sum ng factors of 6. Piliin natin yung pair of factors na pag i-add natin will add up to positive 5. So, saan dito pair of factors na pag i-add natin, the result is 5. So, there it is. The positive 3 and negative 2. So, ilalagay natin yung positive 3 at positive 2 after ng variable na x. So, magiging, lagay natin dito ang 3, saka yung 2. Now, what is the operation na ilalagay natin? Plus ba or minus? Since yung sign ng 3 and 2 are positive, so ilalagay natin plus and plus. So, therefore, ang factors ng x squared, erase muna natin. Ang factors ng x squared plus 5x plus 6 is quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 2. Now, we're going to check if tama yung factors natin. So, pag-check, gagamit lang tayo ng FOIL method or distributive property. So, i-multiply natin yung x saka yung x, magiging x squared. X times positive 2, positive 2x, positive 3 times positive x, plus 3x, and positive 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. I-add natin yung like terms, ito. So, magiging x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Ibig sabihin, tama yung dalawang factors natin. Alright. So, let's move on to the next example. For the next example, iba namang factoring technique ang ituturo ko sa inyo. Pero, i-apply muna natin yung factoring technique na kakaturo ko pa lang sa inyo. We have this equation, x squared minus 10x plus 24. Unang gagawin natin, since this is a trinomial quadratic equation, ibig sabihin, yung factors nito ay product of two binomials. So, gagawa lang tayo ng two parentheses. Una, what are the factors of x squared? So, we have x times x. So, ilalagay natin dito yung x tsaka yung x. Now, ano yung number na ilalagay natin dito? Sabi ko kanina, to factor this trinomial, after the first term, i-factor out natin yung 24. So, alam nyo na, maraming mga factors ng 24. Ang pipiliin lang natin na factors ay kapag i-add natin yung dalawang factors, magiging negative 10. So, let's guess and check natin. 24. Since negative ito, ibig sabihin, yung factors ng 24 is negative. So, ibig sabihin, dalawang factors niya ay negative. Why? Because pag i-multiply natin yung dalawang factors na negative, magiging positive. Pag i-add naman natin, magiging negative. For example, sa 24, we have negative 12 times negative 2. Pwede rin negative 6 times negative 4. Pwede rin negative 24 times negative 1. So, there are three factors wherein yung dalawang factors may negative na sign. So, i-add natin ito. Negative 12 plus negative 2. Same sign sila. So, magiging negative 14. Ito is negative 10. Ito naman negative 25. So, alin sa mga pair of factors that will result to negative 10? Alright, ito, negative 6 and negative 4. Ibig sabihin, ilalagay natin dito si minus 6 and minus 4. Okay? Place muna natin to, yung factors ng 24. Therefore, the factors of x squared minus 10x plus 24 is x minus 6 times x minus 4. Okay, i-check natin kung tama yung factors natin. Pero if you are confident enough sa answer nyo, pwede na wala ng checking. Pero isi-show natin kung tama talaga yung factors natin. So, gagamit lang tayo ng full method. X times x, x squared, x times negative 4, negative 4x, negative 6 times x, negative 6x, negative 6 times negative 4 is positive. Okay, positive kasi same sign sila. So, i-add natin yung dalawa, magiging x squared minus 10x plus 24. Ibig sabihin, tama yung dalawang factors natin. Okay, next naman na factoring technique na i-apply natin is tinatawag na X-box method. Makikita nyo, no? Mayroong dalawang X tsaka may box. So, ginatawag ito na X-box method. So, konti lang yung mga students na gumagamit nito. Ginagamit to especially sa mga trinomials na yung value ng A. Yung value natin ng A dito is 1, di ba? So, pag yung value ng A magiging 2, 3, 4, or more than 2, medyo complicated na. So, some of the students gumagamit sila ng X-box method. So, in this particular example, yung x squared minus 10x plus 24, gagamitin natin ng X-box method kung same pa rin ba na result. Okay. Sa makikita nyo sa X, may 4 na space. Okay? May 4 na space. So, lalagyan natin yan ng mga numbers. So, dito, the first space is A. Lalagay natin dito yung A times C. Ibig sabihin, i-multiply natin sa A times C. Saan sa A? Yung first term, saka yung last term. Dito naman is si B. At dito, sa left and right, ito yung mga factors. Ito yung mga factors ng 24. Na pag i-add natin, magiging B. Okay. Okay, gagawin natin, multiply natin yung A tsaka C. So, magiging 24 yan. Dito naman, sa ibaba, is ang negative 10. So, ano yung factors ng 24 na pag-add natin magiging negative 10? Okay, we have negative 6 and negative 4. Now, pag makumpleto na natin yung x, yung mga numbers na nasa x, okay? So, makakabuo na tayo ng box. Dito, ilalagay natin si x squared. Dito naman si positive 24. Dito naman si negative 6x. Dito naman si negative 4x. Okay. So, next naman, gagawa tayo ng set of numbers na ilalagay natin dito sa left saka sa top. So, sa x squared, ano yung factors ng x squared? We have x times x. Okay. Lalagay tayo ng number dito. Ano yung number na i-multiply natin sa x? Magiging negative 4x. So, it's very easy. Negative 4. Ano naman yung number na i-multiply natin sa x? Magiging negative 6x. The answer is negative 6. By looking at the terms na nalagay natin, so the factors are x minus 4 times x minus 6, which is same dito sa ginawa natin sa factoring technique na kakaturo ko pa lang kanina. We can also use the grouping method. Di ba dito sa after the x method, nagiging box tayo. We can use the grouping method. Paano? Okay. So, lagay natin dito x squared minus 4x minus 6x plus 24. Tapos, i-group natin, since apat na yung terms, i-group natin sila. I-group natin yung x squared minus 4x, saka yung 6x, and positive 24. Now, we're going to factor out. Yung first parenthesis, yung GCF nila is yung x minus 4 na lang. Tapos, kopyahin natin yung minus sign. 6 and 24, meron silang factor na 6. Magiging x minus 4 na lang siya. Okay? By the way, dito, since we use grouping, change na pala yung sign ng 24, magiging negative na. Since gumawa tayo ng parenthesis dito. Okay, by looking at the terms na nagawa natin, yung simplified form, by the way, ito pala silang dalawa, same lang sila. Same lang yan. Okay? Same lang yan silang dalawa. And also, ito, at saka yung original equation natin, same lang. Ginawa lang natin ng simplified form. Okay, next naman, makikita nyo x minus 4, x minus 4. Yun yung common factor nila. So, magiging x minus 4. Tapos, kopyahin nyo na lang yung x saka yung negative 6. X minus 6. Okay, same sila lang factors. Okay, medyo complicated lang yung Xbox method kasi first time nyo pa, no? Pero pag na-practice nyo to, and magiging madali lang sa inyo to sa susunod na mga example. Okay. You can choose what factoring technique na gagamitin nyo as long as you are comfortable. For me, ginagamit ko itong factoring technique na guess and check lang. Pero pag mga complicated na mga numbers, gumagamit ako ng Xbox method. In your case naman, as grade 9, so madali lang na mga factors or mga given na ifa-factor out natin. Okay? So, let's continue. Now, factoring technique number 4. Okay. So, gagawin natin, ifa-factor out natin. Actually, this is a combination of the first factoring technique, yung GCF, greatest common factor, tapos yung second or third. So, why? Because if titingnan natin yung each terms, 4x squared, 8x, 4, meron silang GCF. Meron common. 4, 8, and 4, yung common nila is 4. Diba? Tapos, i-factor out natin yung 4, magiging x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay. Now, pag ma-factor out na natin yung 4, sa parenthesis makikita natin, this is a trinomial. Ibig sabihin, ifa-factor out pa natin to. Okay, hindi lang sa pagkuha ng GCF. Since trinomial ito, ifa-factor out natin. So, 4, so gagawa tayo ng dalawang parenthesis. X and X. What are the factors of 1? Na pag i-add natin, the answer is positive 2. Very easy lang, di ba? So, positive 1 and positive 1. Pag check natin, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So, this is our final. Okay, erase muna natin. So, therefore, the factors of 4x squared plus 8x plus 4 is 4 times quantity, x plus 1 times x plus 1. Okay? So, pinagsabay natin yung factoring techniques na greatest common factor, tapos yung guess and check, or you can also use the X-box method. Pero in this example, madali lang yung guess and check na lang natin. Right? So, I guess ready na kayo for a more challenging task in solving quadratic equation by factoring. Okay, let's move on. How to solve quadratic equation using factoring. So, pag-solve ng quadratic equation, so mayroon ding step by step. Pareha nung pag-solve using extracting square root. Okay, what are the steps? Una, transform the equation into standard form if necessary. So, dapat alam nyo na yung standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Ito yung standard form. But there are some cases na yung value ng b is 0. So, magiging ax squared plus c na lang siya, right? Meron ding some instances yung c is 0. So, meron ding ax squared plus bx equals 0. So, these three quadratic equation ay tinatawag ding quadratic terms in standard form because meron pa rin silang quadratic term, no? Yung ax squared in the presence of ax squared. Number 2, factor the quadratic expression. Yung mga tinuro ko kanina na mga factoring technique, so gagamitin nyo yon. So, pwede yung greatest common factor, kung meron man, tapos yung guess and check or the X-box method. Depende na sa technique na gagamitin nyo. As long as tama yung factors ninyo. So, if you are nagda-doubt kayo sa factors nyo, check muna para tama yung magiging answer nyo. Okay? For example naman yung factors natin, x plus 1 times x plus 2. Okay? Here's mo natin. X plus 1 and x plus 2. This is an example of a factor. Alright? So, let's proceed to number 3. Apply the zero product property by setting each factor of the quadratic are equal to 0. Zero product property. Ibig sabihin ng zero product property, pag meron kang term or numbers na a times b equals 0, ibig sabihin or it implies na yung a equal to 0 and or b is equal also to 0. Your goal is to apply key concepts of solving quadratic equation by factoring. Use the mathematical ideas to answer the activities. Okay, so gagamitin natin yung mga tinuro ko mga techniques how to solve quadratic equation by factoring. Let's have example number 1. Find the solutions by factoring of x squared plus 6x equals 16. In this example, x squared plus 6x equals 16. This is not in the standard form. Bakit? Kasi may constant na 16 sa right side. Let us transform this into standard form. How? We are going to move this positive 16 to the left side of the equation. So, magiging x squared plus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Okay, why minus 16? Because positive to siya dito, di ba? And we are going to subtract both sides by negative 16. Negative 16. So, makancel out na yan. What left is, yung left side, magkakaroon siya na negative 16. Okay, don't forget that process, no? Okay, next naman, we are going to factor out x squared plus 6x minus 16. By the way, makikita niyo sa right side naman yung mga steps. Okay, so factor out natin. As what I've said, pag trinomial ito, meaning to say meron siyang factors na binomial. So, gagawan tayo ng dalawang parentheses. Okay, don't forget the equals 0. Okay, because in the given, equals 0 yan siya. It is a quadratic equation. First, we're going to factor x squared. So, madali lang. Lagyan mo ng x dyan. Okay. Next, ang last term natin is negative 16. Ibig sabihin, one of the factors is negative, one is the factor is positive. So, gagawin na lang natin, what are the factors of negative 16 na pag-add natin is 6. Okay, let's try. We have here negative 8 times positive 2. We have also positive 8 times negative 2. Pag i-add natin yung dalawa, magiging negative 6. Pag i-add naman natin yung dalawa, magiging positive 6. So, which of the pairs of factors na magkakaroon ka ng positive 6? Okay, ito. So, ilalagay mo lang dito, since positive 8 yan, positive 8 tapos negative 2. Alright. So, that's how you're going to find the factors. Pero pag magaling ka na mag-factors, you can directly solve that mentally. Lalagay mo na lang yung numbers dito. So, erase muna natin to. Okay, tapos na tayo sa second step na factor. Okay, factor natin yung standard form. Now, let's make sure na, make sure na ang sum natin is 6. 8 plus negative 2 is positive 6. Pag multiply naman natin, 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. I-apply na natin yung zero product property. Ibig sabihin, yung x plus 8 natin, equal natin to sa 0. Okay? Tapos, yung x minus 2 naman, apply natin to 0. So, this is by using the ZPP, or the zero product property. Now, we can solve now the variable x. How? Okay. Eliminate natin yung positive 8. Subtract tayo ng negative 8. Okay? Magiging x equals negative 8. Dito naman, eliminate natin yung negative 2. Add lang tayo ng positive 2. Add ng positive 2. The answer is, cancel out, x equals positive 2. Therefore, yung x sub 1 natin is negative 8. Tapos yung x sub 2 naman is positive 2. Therefore, our solution set is 2 and negative. Okay, sorry. Una pala natin yung negative 8 and positive 2. Pwede na wala na yung positive. Okay? So, next naman is checking. I-check natin yung value ng negative 8 at yung positive 2 are correct. Paano? You are going to substitute sa given na formula. Pwede dito, pwede rin dito. Okay, try natin dito sa original equation. Let's have the checking. If x equals negative 8, substitute natin sa value ng x dito. So, magiging negative 8 squared plus 6 times negative 8. Is it equal to 16? Negative 8 squared is positive 64. Plus 6 times negative is negative 48. Negative na class because unlike sign sila equals 16. Okay? Subtract muna natin. 64 minus 48. So 16 equals 16. Ibig sabihin, tama yung x equals negative 8. So tama ito. If naman, x is positive 2. Substitute natin sa original equation. We have 2 squared plus 6 times 2 equals 16. Lagyan ng question mark. So, 4 plus 12 equals 16. Lagyan ng question mark again. So, 16 is equal to 16. So, ibig sabihin tama yung final answer natin. Therefore, the solution set of x squared plus 6x equals 16 is the solution set negative 8 and positive 2. Okay, let's have another example. Next example naman is x squared minus 64. By the way, this example can be solved by using the extracting square roots. Di ba yung in-explain ko about extracting square root, you can only solve extracting square root using the x squared equals r. Di ba? Then this example can be rewrite into x squared equals r. But still, we can solve this using factoring. Hindi lang extracting square roots, pwede din factoring. Observe that x squared minus 64. Yung 64 is a perfect square, di ba? Perfect square siya. By the way, pag meron ka difference of 2 square, ang tawag dito is difference of 2 square. Susulat natin. Ang tawag dyan is difference of 2 square. Why difference? Because of this operation minus 2 square, because yung x squared is a square. Tapos yung 64 is a square. Now, if we are going to find the factors of x squared minus 64, yung factors niyan are sum and difference of 2 terms. Okay? So, sum and difference of 2 terms. Ano ba yan, sir? Yung sum and difference of 2 terms. Okay, ganito yan. Pag meron kang a squared minus b squared, difference of 2 squares yan because yung a and b are squares. Yung factor nito, change na natin ng kulay. Yung factors nito is sum and difference of 2 terms. Magiging a plus b and a minus b. Okay, ganyan yung factors niya. So, let's solve this x squared minus 64 by factoring. Transform into standard form. So, standard form na yan. So, x squared minus 64 equals 0. Now, factor naman yan, kasi this is difference of 2 square, makikita natin dito na finactor natin yung a squared tapos yung b squared. Okay? Nilagay natin sa respective nila na mga positions. So, yung x squared, yung factor niyan, yung square root niyan rather is x. Or yung factors niyan are x and x. Then 64, what is the square root of 64? Okay, that is positive or negative 8. Lagay natin dito si positive 8 saka si negative 8. And don't forget to write the equal 0 sign. Okay? Now, pag i-check natin to, 8 times negative is 64. Pag i-add naman natin 8 saka negative 8, 0 na siya. Alright? Now, using the zero product property, x plus 8 equals 0. Tapos, x minus 8 equals 0. Padali lang, no? Subtract natin both sides by negative 8. So, magiging x, dito yan negative 8, equals negative 8. Dito din. Okay, don't forget. So, x equals positive 8. Therefore, yung value ng x or the solution 6, solution set rather, is negative 8 and positive 8. Okay, let us check kung tama talaga yung answer natin. So, check natin. Let's have the checking. Okay. If x is negative 8, substitute natin sa formula. So, magiging negative 8 squared minus 64 equals 0. Negative 8 squared is 64 minus 64. Lagyan pala natin yung question mark, no? Therefore, 0 is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, tama yung negative 8. Next naman, positive 8. If x equals 8. Okay? So, magiging 8 squared minus 64 is it equal to 0? Okay, 8 squared is 64 minus 64. So, 0 is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, tama yung final answer natin. Alright, class. Don't forget, pag ganitong mga form, binomial lang siya, no? Make sure titingnan nyo kung difference of two squares yan. Ibig sabihin, yung first and last term are squares. Ibig sabihin, yung factors niya are sum and difference of two terms. Ganyan lang. Okay? Don't forget this. Okay, erase natin. Okay? Don't forget this mathematical concepts. Pag meron kang difference of two square, yung factors niyan ay ganito. Alright? Okay, let's have the last solution. Find a solution by factoring 4x squared plus 12x minus 16. In the last example, makikita natin this is in the standard form. Standard form na siya. However, take note that the quadratic equation has a GCF. Meron siyang GCF. Take a look with the terms. Okay? Meron siyang 4, meron 12, tsaka yung 16. Okay, gagawin natin is we're going to factor out 4. Factor out natin yung 4 sa magiging x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, we can still simplify this one. We can divide the whole equation by 4. Divide by 4. Bakit dinivide ko? Kasi equation siya eh. Meron siyang equal sign. Pero pag walang equal sign siya, hanggang dito lang tayo. Hindi natin yan i-divide ng 4. Okay? Pero since meron tayong equal sign, we can still simplify this one by removing the GCF. Okay? So pag remove natin yan, yung magiging standard form natin will be x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. 0 because 0 divided by 4 is 0. Alright? Now, simplified form na yung standard form natin. So, madali lang sa atin pag-factor out. So, we're going to factor out x squared plus 3x minus 4. So, meron tayong 2 binomials here. Okay, sinabi ko kanina na pag-factor, unahin natin yung first term. So, magiging x dito, x rin dito. Now, we're going to factor out negative 4 na pag-add natin positive 3. Okay, take note, pag negative 4 yan, ibig sabihin negative yung isa factor, ang isa positive. Okay. Positive yung isa negative. We can have negative 4 times positive 1. Okay? Okay, bakit na negative 8 na to? Delete muna natin. Pwede rin positive 4 times negative 1. Okay, which of the pair of factors na pag-add natin positive 3? Okay, syempre, piliin natin yung factor na positive 4 and negative 1. So, lagyan lang natin positive 4 and negative 1. Pag-check natin kung tama yung factors natin, pwede mental solving lang. You can solve it mentally. 4 times negative 1, negative 4. 4 plus negative 1 is positive 3. Ibig sabihin, tama yung factors natin. Apply natin directly yung zero product property. So, x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. Okay, magiging x. Diretso ko na ha. Transpose ko na lang. X equals negative 4. Dito naman, x equals negative yan. Pag transpose doon, positive na. Okay. Therefore, the solution set are negative 4 and positive 1. Now, let us check kung tama talaga yung answer natin. So, you can substitute the original equation. Pero medyo maraming numbers yung original equation eh. Dito tayo sa simplified form. Actually, ito tsaka ito, same naman lang sila. No? Yan. Itong original equation tapos yung simplified form. Original equation tapos simplified form, equal lang yung dalawa. Okay, dito natin sila substitute. Okay, we have the checking. If x equals negative 4, so magiging 4 squared plus 3 times 4 minus 4 is it equal to 0. 4 squared is 16 plus 12 minus By the way, negative 4 pala to. Sorry class, negative 4 pala yan. Okay, negative 4. So, dito, magiging negative 12 yan dito. Okay? So, sometimes, magkamali din tayo. But, don't worry, we can check it right away. So, 12 minus 4 equals 0. Lagyan ng question mark. 16 minus 12 is 4 minus 4. 0 is equal to... Okay, equal na yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung negative 4 is correct. If naman, x natin is 1. X equals 1. So, substitute natin sa formula. Magiging 1 squared plus 3 times 1 minus 4 is it equal to 0. 1 squared is 1 plus 3 minus 4 is it equal to 0. Okay, continue natin dito ha. So, 1 plus 3 is 4 minus 4. So, 0 is equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, tama yung answer natin na negative 4 and 1. Okay, ganyan lang pag-solve ng factoring. You can use any factoring technique and you can combine them, especially yung DCF, tapos yung factors of trinomials or even the square of sum and difference of two squares, right? Okay, class, thank you for listening. I hope you learned about solving quadratic equation. By the way, in the next video, I will discuss about solving by completing the square and using the quadratic formula. Don't forget pala to subscribe for more mathematics tutorial and have a good day everyone. Thank you.